So I said to her, sure, it's only 20% blood on paper, but it rides like a New Zealand thoroughbred. Anyway, should we crack into it?
Hi, this is Blythe Tate, and you're listening to Eventing Weekly with Mitch and Braden.
Hey, cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
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 Tayla Mason, g'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Now, we're probably going to have to explain something here, because here we are, down at your local, not in our regular setting. No. You know, Mitch, you wouldn't find us here, that often.
No, you'd find us more at the local event rather than at the local.
I mean, it's a
every week.
Monday. Why wouldn't you be at the pub?
You see, that's probably something we've learned, Taylor. So just to set the scene for the fans, is as we plan to meet with you 7:30 tonight, and it must have been 10 past 7 that you text me and said, hey, I'm at the pub, you want to come for a beer?
Yeah, well, obviously originally we were meeting at the yard and we were going to do our interview, but I mean, I don't want to be at the yard at 7:30, I want to be at the pub, so I said, come on, why don't we, have a drink?
And credit to us probably, I mean, it was a bit of a cliche through COVID, but to pivot, and we just on the spot pivoted and thought, you know what, let's go to the pub.
Yeah. And do you know what? I actually drove past this pub on my way to your house.
I did think that.
So,
I was going to say...
extra £10 in gas.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I was actually going to message you because I don't have my car here, and I was going to be like, oh, Mitch, mate, can you pick me up from the pub so we can do this interview? Because I knew you were passing. But anyway, me and Braden had a better idea and thought, actually, let's meet here.
Yeah, and here we are. So, I mean, without trying to timestamp the episode, it is a Monday evening. And Taylor, you and I have both just got back from Mill Street.
Yep.
And I think it would be rude not to mention, geez, what a lovely week over in Ireland, might I say.
Yeah.
And I think it would be rude of us as Kiwis not to mention the big win over the weekend.
Yeah, huge one for our boy there.
And, we got him into it about a year ago?
Yeah, I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah.
And I think he's got us to thank for it.
And of course, we're talking about James Saverite winning eventing manager
in the Boys Know Best League.
Yeah. Well, he had a lucky week.
Well, I don't know
about
I don't know. Do you know he won the whole league?
Yeah. He had a lucky series. Yeah. I'll get him next year.
No, just to back up the name of that league, the 4 out of the top 5 were boys, in fact.
Yeah.
In the Boys Know Best League.
So if you're not
eventing
quite sure
manager.
what we're chatting about here is, again, we mentioned it last week, the Equi Ratings eventing manager. Big fans. And we've got a bit of a league running called Boys Know Best. And it started off with 4 of us, didn't it? And it's now 30 of us.
30 strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, we were 6th in the overall leagues of the world. So our league was the 6th best league in the world this week.
Yeah, thanks, James Everett.
James Severite. He won the whole bloody thing. 1,000 people.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good guy, isn't he? Yeah, we do miss him, don't we?
He was better when he was on this side of the world.
I was about to say, we do miss him on the side of the world.
So we thought it would be rude not to kick off, mentioning the big success over the weekend.
Definitely.
Taylor, you were over in Ireland, and obviously had Sonia, your mum, over as well.
Yeah, Sono, she made the trip.
Yeah, do you want to just give us a little bit of an overview of your week there? Obviously, you're helping out Toby this week.
Yeah. So I think I was working pretty hard. My tan has come along quite nicely. If anyone saw me at the start of the week, the legs were frightening. Yeah,
I thought you were looking a bit rosy tonight, but I wasn't sure if that was the sun or couple of ciders.
Yeah. Probably a bit of both. Yeah, nice work.
Taylor, when I saw you, I had these sunglasses on.
You had to have it.
Sheesh Louise,
Yeah, and anyway, so I was working pretty hard. I had 3 jobs each day I assigned myself to. One, obviously, number 1 is get a tan. And I, for the rest of the days, I only assigned myself for 2 other jobs.
And they were?
Platting and course walking. Yeah.
Priority-wise, in that order?
Yeah. I did sleep in one day. It was actually the last day, so probably not ideal. Had 25 minutes to play it, but lucky I'm fast, you know? It's been a while, but I haven't forgotten how to play it.
And I'm interested in the course walk. Braden and I are huge fans of the course walk.
Yes.
What did you think of the course out there?
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah. They had enough out there, and it was twisty and turny, and
There was a bit to do out there, wasn't there?
there was a bit to do. Yeah.
Well, Taylor, I mean, we're sort of we've set the scene. We're starting to crack into some of our areas of expertise. So I think now's probably the time to crack into the real structure of the show, and just because we're so early on in this beast, that I thought I'd frame it up again. So if you're new to the show, the way we work is Mitch and I sort of spend a couple of weeks doing some admin, putting in some research, and coming up with what we think of 10 good questions that'll paint a picture of Tayla Mason.
The hours we spend coming up with these questions, we don't just do this the day of, in the car on the way to the pub.
No way.
Absolutely not what happens at all.
So tonight's Monday. We've already done our planning meeting for next week.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a couple of people over at Mill Street saying, you should get this person on. I'm just saying...
I mean, do you think you're some sort of celebrity or something?
Well, all I'm saying is, sure we want to get you on. We're all about the community. We want to get you on, but it's,
you're in high demand.
It's you got to look sort of 2-3 months ahead at this stage. We're backed up.
Well, I'm pretty stoked to be third on then.
Well, hey, and it's a pleasure to have you here, Tayla Mason.
Thanks.
So the way we're going to do is Mitch is going to start and we're going to work through the questions. So, Mitch, I believe it's you kicking us off this week.
It is. So, Taylor, first question. Don't look so nervous. We're professionals. We know what we're talking about.
Okay.
It's strictly eventing based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your first ever event, what was it?
Oh, wow. Okay. So back to New Zealand, obviously. So we were in Masterton. I think it was Solway event.
Is that in the Warrapa?
What? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful place. And so I mean, I'm much the same now, but I was a real determined child. Mum had me on this white pony called Walter. He was so naughty. He used to buck me off all the time. And anyway, so I was going out in cross country, and he bucked me off at least 5 times. And so I'm hooning around, and I'm so determined to finish and just do it. And he kept bucking me off, and it was and Mum was out there running around behind me, and she was real embarrassed because there was one girl before me, and her dad was making her do it, and she didn't want to, and the girl was crying. So I was crying too, but I was crying of rage. I was crying of rage, and Mum was so embarrassed. She was like, "Come on, darling, we can do it another day." And I was like, "No, I am finishing." and then so Mum's like, "Oh, it's fine." I was like, "Leg me up."
How old were you here, Tayla Mason?
Oh man, I think I was definitely younger. I must have been about 7. 7 or 8. I think I was probably 7, not 8. Yeah.
And you got a real zest for it. You're determined.
Yeah.
You're on that grey.
Yeah.
And you're getting your ass around that event.
Yeah, and I did. And I jumped the biggest brush fence at the end of the course, and I was stoking.
Yeah.
Absolutely stoked. Yeah.
Bloody hell. What a picture she paints, doesn't she, Mitch?
What a picture. And what about your first show in this country, on this side of the big old pond?
Oh, wow.
Well, how long have you been here now?
I've been here 4.5 years now.
It's creeping up on you, doesn't it?
It is gone fast.
I'm going to hazard a guess here.
Yeah.
Aston the Wolves.
Mate, have you done your research?
Well, she acts surprised. Not only has he done his research, he's got his finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Of British eventing.
Yeah. You got a 32 double clear.
Nah, mate. She was way higher in the dressage in the wrong direction. So probably,
I don't believe it.
Oh, maybe mid-30s if I'm lucky.
No, I don't believe it.
Oh, bloody good, guys. And good on us asking such a appropriate question first up about horses.
Yeah.
But it's not only about us, Taylor. And for your second question, what we've done is we've reached out to your friends in whānau. And we've come up with a guest question, a fan question, if you will. So I'm going to play that fan question. The audio's a little quieter this week, so just listen in.
Hey team, Kez here. Loving your work, loving your potty.
Oh no.
Tayla Mason, question for you. What is your key to avoiding being a grade 10 flappy mess on the build up to a 3-day? Love your work, bye!
I mean, I can't fight the flappy mess, you know, like it just...
What, if you don't mind talking us through, what is a grade 10 floppy mess?
No, it's not a floppy mess.
No, what is it?
No.
It's a flappy mess.
Flappy.
So the issue with me is that, like, you know, so, well, I just can't, like, I get, you know, you get to the shows and stuff and I have to be doing something, right? And then, and so, like, I started off my career and I was, like, kind of like part groom, part rider, obviously for the prices. So I was always busy and stuff. And then I got to the point where all of a sudden I became a rider and I had not so much to do. And I think, like, the funniest one was when we were at Arkin. And it was just a bit hard because I was, like, meant to be a rider and I'd just be, like, sifting around the stables and just, like, trying to do stuff. And they're like, can you just leave and, like, go walk a course or something? But, like, I just was, like, so out of place.
A grade 10 flappy mess.
Grade 10 flappy mess.
And they're just like, flap around. And that's where the phrase came.
And so how do you avoid that now?
I don't. I'm still
So
I'm still a grade 10. Yeah.
What, you know, what a
Ask the girls at the yard. They have to deal with it every day.
What a catch! What a catch! And if you will, obviously that question came in from one of our biggest fans. If not
biggest fan.
Exactly.
And we're big fans of her as well.
Oh, huge fans of her work, Kieran Edmonds. So how do you know Kez? And how long you known Kez?
Oh, wow. So we met years ago when I first came over. Came over and worked for the prices for like a month or something. I was real fresh off the boat and Kez was working for them then, and we just got off on like a house on fire. I mean, she's a good chick, and had a lot of fun. And anyway, and then I came back, and I've been terrorising her for the last 4.5 years.
God, she puts up with a lot, doesn't she?
Yeah. There's no surprise she won that award last year. Was it FEI Groom of the Year?
Yeah.
Kieran Edmonds?
She knows what she's doing.
Shout out to Kez.
Yeah, less of her work dealing with the animals, more the people.
Yeah, you know? I mean, well, that's the thing. She's got to look after the horses are the easy bit.
Yeah,
it's the riders, and then I'm meant to be helping her, but I'm half a rider, and then she's having to look after me too.
Yeah.
You know?
There's nothing that girl can't do.
Yeah, big fan of the show as well. So shout out to you, Kez. Anyway, guys, Mitch, over to you for question number 3.
So, like I say, we arrange these questions beforehand. We don't just do them on the fly.
Nah.
So my third question, our third, is written down here. So we're at your yard here in Wiltshire. What's the arrangement? We're not at your yard.
But if we were,
we can imagine. Yeah.
What's the setup? You, Rebecca?
What does it look like?
Yeah. So we've got it looks like a yard. So you've got horses. You've got stables, which that's what the horses go into. Paddocks. Yeah.
Paddocks.
Yeah.
The right word, I believe.
Yes.
Not
yes.
Can I jump in here and just to remind you who you're talking to? We can be a bit more broader than the specific details of the the architecture of the buildings. we're more thinking.
I'm not doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for the fans.
Oh, you're painting
I'm
a
trying
picture.
to paint a picture.
Sure.
Paint a picture.
Well, for my sake, in that picture, could there be one little corner where you paint a few details on maybe the yard you've ended up at, who used to be there, and who you're there with now, and what sort of a string of team you're running?
Yeah, so so I am in a yard in Ramsbury. Jesse Campbell used to be there, and Georgie.
Huge fans of the show.
Yeah, I mean those two are they're good people. Anyway, So anyway, so I moved in there. Prices nicely set it up. Well, they found the yard for me and set it up for me. So I'm very lucky that they did that for me, because I would not know where to begin looking. And then also another awesome thing is Rebecca Howard. She rides for Canada. So we're both in there, and we've got a few horses. I've got 12 at the moment, so it's keeping me busy, which is great. And yeah, we've got a good thing going. We just, turn up to work and ride some ponies and come to the pub and then go home and repeat.
Bloody good.
Sounds like a hard life.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Well, you did just mention there, and you've mentioned a couple of times, Tim and Janelle. So were you with them for 3 years, was it?
So I was with them for 3 years, and then part-time for another year.
Okay, yep. Very good. So obviously them at the top of their game right now, world number 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So great to have them as part of Team New Zealand, and obviously you were there sort of under their wing for that time, which is a real joy for you.
Yeah.
We were just interested in your opinion based on your experience there. Out of Tim and Janelle, who's the better rider? If you don't mind going on record.
We can edit this out.
No, I don't believe you.
No, we can. We won't. We can.
We could if we wanted, but we're not going
to.
All right.
Bit of a curveball. We thought we'd just throw it at you and see how you handled it.
Who is the better rider? Okay, wow.
Tayla Mason, the diplomat.
Yeah, so... Yeah. Do you know what? The thing is that I'm just going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble here.
Well, you're going to get in trouble either way, so just go for it.
Yeah. So I think, I could say the classic thing is, Tim's a natural, Janelle works really hard, but that's what everyone says. But, I think together they're an absolute powerhouse, aren't they? Like, I think they're both as good as each other, but without each other, they wouldn't be as good. So that's a shout out to you, Tim, Janelle needs...
Tim is the better
No. Even though Janelle might not say it, she does need you and you are the boss. Yeah, I always tell Tim, look in the mirror in the morning and tell yourself, you are the boss, Tim. You are the boss.
Was that part of his morning affirmations?
But Janelle is the boss.
Yeah. I did see Tim at a show a couple of weeks ago and asked him what his goal for the day was. And Tim's goal for the day was to let people know that he's his own man. He can go out and ride horses without his wife being there. At the end of the day, a photographer, uploaded a photo of Tim Price, tagged Janelle Price.
Oh. Power move.
Oh,
yeah.
Real power move.
Taylor,
Taylor, really well handled. I thought you took that one really, really well. So that's a credit to you.
Thank you.
Really good.
nailed it.
Mitchell, where are we at, mate?
We are, would you believe it or not, up to our next fan question.
What? We've already had our fan question.
What? Have we got 2 fans?
Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen tight for our second fan question.
Hi, Mitch and Braden at Eventing Weekly. This is enthusiastic semi-professional event rider Toby Piggott. I'm a huge fan of your current guest, Tayla Mason. This question is actually a 2-parter. My first question is, all of the event horses throughout history, which one would you like to ride the most and why? Which leads me on to my second question. What is your 5-year plan for sorting out the war between Russia and Ukraine? Thanks very much.
First of all, before you get going, I think it would be rude not to shout out Toby Piggott.
Yeah. Never met the man, but heard he's a hell of a guy.
And it was actually in preparation for the show. I was thinking, who can we get in for a fan question for Taylor? And then who slides into my DMs? But Toby bloody Piggott. And then we've turned up here to the pub. And if you're not watching along, Toby's he's sitting right behind us, enjoying a pint with Taylor's mother. So shout out to obviously a huge fan of the show, Toby Piggott.
Yep.
Mitch, do you want to just, if you can, remember what those questions were, put them to Taylor?
So we'll start off with the first part there. I believe it was your favourite event horse in the world.
Yeah.
If you could ride anyone.
Yeah, okay.
Who would it be and
Ride
why?
anyone. Yeah. But this Talia chick, she sounds like a professional.
I think that may have been a Freudian slip there from Mr. Piggott.
No.
Your name,
He's-
they've chucked a Y in there. And
Yeah. It's confusing stuff.
He's been at the pub for a while. Just leave him alone.
All right. Horse. Okay. Oh well, I think if I'm gonna think back, probably Ready Teddy. Like Blythe's a legend. Ready Teddy's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell of a guy.
And who doesn't love a chestnut?
Who doesn't love a chestnut? What year was that, Braden? Ready Teddy.
And that's what an opportunity to bring this up. Ready Teddy, Protoni, 1998.
Ooh, yeah.
And if you're watching on YouTube, then you may have seen we get comments on our episode.
Yeah.
And I must admit, first episode, I did mention Ready Teddy, and I said 1992 for Protoni, but I was corrected rightfully.
Good.
I mean, I'm not often wrong.
Not often. It doesn't happen. I was surprised.
Yep. But when I am, I'm happy to stick my hand up and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I got that one wrong. It was Protoni 1998. Was Blythe Tate on Ready Teddy. And Chestnut, was he?
Yeah.
So that if you could ride any horse, past or present, you'd go.
Yeah,
chestnut
why
thoroughbred.
not? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Shout out Blythe Tate.
Yeah,
It
shout
does sound
Blythe.
great.
Yeah.
It does sound great. And
It was a sort of, the next question sort of flowed on quite nicely, didn't it?
it did.
It was,
Do you remember what it was, Taylor?
5-year plan.
no,
Yeah,
I
well,
think
it was,
a
but it was
bit
also.
more specific than that.
What was
yeah.
your 5-year plan for sorting out the war
The war.
between Russia and Ukraine?
Well, it's definitely going to have something to do with Ready Teddy, right?
I'm listening.
Well, you tell
yeah,
us.
jump on board and, gallop across the land and
Which land are you talking about?
my geography's not great. God, it gets me
Is
in
it
my
Russia's or
weakness.
Ukraine's?
So we've got Ready Teddy, and we've got you. Is it you riding Ready Teddy, galloping across
Yeah, it is
Some-
definitely me.
some stretch of land?
land.
Yeah,
somewhere.
between here and there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And-
And I'm just gonna, go in and tell them what's what and be like, come on, mate, she'll be right. Let's get on with life.
Oh, what a diplomat!
Yeah, I know it's gonna work, eh?
Absolutely.
It's not gonna take me 5 years. It's gonna take me 5 minutes.
There must be some thoroughbreds that you're on.
Isn't that Ready Teddy from 1992? No, it wasn't. No, it isn't. This is Ready Teddy from 1999.
And that's Tayla Mason.
Talia, let
Talia.
me correct you.
Sorry, my bad.
Well, geez, I bet people weren't expecting that when they tuned in, this week. That not only would they get to know, a lovely young lady, but they'd figure out the way to solve the war in Russia and Ukraine. So, what a bonus! Well done, Talia. Well done. Just looking at my list here of our questions, and sticking on, lovely horses. I was wondering if we could just change lanes a little bit and keep the fans on their toes and chuck a serious note in. Can you maybe think back to and describe to us your favourite memory with Chase?
Oh, Chase, he's a legend.
He is a legend.
He is a legend.
Do you want to maybe just let us know who's Chase, and then pick one of your favourite moments with Chase so far?
Yeah. So Chase, he is my top horse. My mother bred him. She did a very good job. She does a good job.
She does.
Yeah, she does. And anyway, I mean, Chase is a bit special to me, really, because, we kind of came over together to this unknown world. And it was kind of just...
we were here. You knew us.
You were here.
I wasn't
Brayden
here.
hadn't
No.
come yet. Yeah. And I didn't meet you until this country.
No,
Remember?
I know. Yeah. I remember the
Yeah.
exact moment.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Neither.
Was it at
Actually,
Aston?
Yeah.
So anyway, so Chase is great. We came over and he's my top horse. My mum bred him, and obviously I brought him up the grades, did my first 5-star on him, and he's just a nice guy. There's been so many influential times. I think like I mean, Arkin was it was awesome, you know, like to be picked on that team, and I was just like I just felt like it was just awesome. Like I was starstruck, you know, like all of a sudden I was on my horse and I was flying out to Arkin, and you know, it was pretty cool. And he was great. He was really cool at the event, and it was a really good experience. And I owe a lot to that horse because, you know, he kind of got me going, and I'm really looking forward to getting him out again, and you know, continuing you know what we did.
Yeah, world domination.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bloody good.
You're not far off.
Just while Mitch is pulling up the next question, what year? Do you remember which year Arkin that was?
Oh gosh, what
Was that just as you got over?
Nah. It must have been.
Let's say 20.
COVID Arkin.
20.
Yeah, it was COVID
COVID
because
Arkin.
we were
Was it?
testing. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Was it?
No, 20,
Saliva
I
or-
reckon it was 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were testing.
You were testing.
Was
yeah.
it up your eyeball?
It was up the eyebrow. Yeah.
Man. That was not a good time to be alive.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Can horses get COVID?
Taylor?
Did you have to test them?
Nah, but we probably should have. Yeah.
I think the answer is no, just for the record. For the record. Yeah.
For the record.
For the record.
All right, Taylor. We're keeping it really serious here. I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
4.5 years.
4.5
I believe.
years.
And over that 4.5 years, we've been out to many parties and we've spent a lot of time together. And in that time, Taylor, I've come to learn you're not so much of a hugger.
Wouldn't be the first word I'd use to describe Taylor. Although improving.
No.
Carry on.
So my question for you, Taylor,
Yeah.
would you rather, hold on, my question's gone, have a difficult conversation with someone you know and love,
Yeah.
or hug a stranger?
Oh, difficult conversation for sure. I mean, I struggle to hug my mates, let alone a stranger.
Well, you're telling me.
Can we just break the hug down for a second? Talk me through, in your mind, your hugging technique. Where is it? Because I think you are getting better at hugging.
Yeah.
But for me, there's a few little details that need a bit of work. Do you know what they are?
Well, the thing is that someone comes into a hut for a hug, and I kind of just automatically just kind of pull away and just go like
Yeah,
stiff.
I've noticed.
For me, it's feet position.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Do you know?
You know?
Because you're going for a hug, you want to get nice and
Oh,
close.
my feet are
chest to
always
chest.
way far away.
You're not
Way-
putting another stride in there.
Yeah, exactly. You're leaving it very deep. You know.
Yeah.
You've seen a long
she's
stride to the
seen-
hug.
Yeah, she's seen a distance
Oh yeah.
and absolutely backed out of it.
So that's one thing for me is the feet position. You know, if you can get them a little bit closer. And then the second is it feels like you're trying to keep your head away from me. So
You know, COVID's gone. You don't need to worry about that anymore.
those are the two things for me. Feet
Okay.
position
Yeah.
and just
And head
relax.
position.
Just lean into it.
Yeah.
Just lean in.
Yeah.
Or just stick to your difficult conversations with people you know.
I mean, I've come at, there's been a little bit of improvement.
Yeah, I think
Has there?
Yeah, no. To your credit, you've worked. I've given you this feedback,
Yeah,
and you've
yeah.
gone away and you've worked on it.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So-
In what way? How have you worked on this?
I kind of just pretend like, you know, I don't know. Don't be so stiff. You know, feet position and lean in.
There you
Yeah, yeah. You just got to commit.
What a student.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. You know,
What a student.
nothing but the serious questions here on
Yeah.
Inventing Weekly.
Yeah.
And another one we've got lined up. Taylor, I was with you actually in New Zealand over summer. We were at a wedding for New Year's.
Yes.
And I remember you mentioned to me your New Year's resolution was to be quieter.
I say that every year.
How's that working out
I
for
don't
you?
even remember telling you that,
Yeah.
but I say it every year
Yeah, do you?
and obviously fail. Fail miserably every year.
So was it a gag? Is it a gag?
Well, no, you know what? I say it and I am serious. I'm like, look, like you
Rain,
need
I
to...
think you said I need to rein it
I
in.
need to rein
Rein
it
it
in.
in.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely, yeah.
Half halt.
I need to rein it in, and I need to also be like, just don't be so loud. But I just can't.
I know. I've noticed you've cleared out all the locals behind us there.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Hey, you are who you are, and you're well loved for it. So
Don't ever change.
you do you, girl.
Thanks.
You do you. Mitchell.
Where are we up to? Oh, here we go. Speaking of New Zealand, what's your itinerary for the perfect New Zealand summer?
A little New Zealand summer
You know,
escape.
You're heading back for a month
Yeah.
from this
Just
side
go
of
to
the
the
world.
beach.
Just go to the beach.
Beach every day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What time
What-
of year are you?
Oh,
what-
summer. Oh, I do
Yeah,
love
but-
skiing though.
You're going to get there before Christmas?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna make you take your summer break.
Okay.
So you're here
Yep.
for the English eventing season,
Yeah.
and then the horses go and have a little bit of a holiday. When do you schedule the holiday? Are you getting back before Christmas? Are you going to try to target the January sun, or
Yeah,
What are you
I
up to?
usually try do the Christmas New Year thing,
Mm.
and then Jan. Like I'd like to go just before Christmas and then go right through your Jan month.
and you're
That's
hitting the beach?
Hitting the beach, yeah,
Every day.
every day.
If you were to give me a couple of hot spots to find Tayla Mason in the New
Oh,
Zealand
the
summer.
Mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, love the Mount. Yeah. So usually, so say my usual day when I go back to New Zealand is I'll be at the Mount. Me and Gary, my stepdad. So we'll.
Is Gary your stepdad?
Yeah.
Massive fan of the show. Shout out.
Shout out Gazza.
Yeah, he's
Shout
been
out
signing off
Gazza.
Gazza, and I didn't put Gazza. Get on,
Shout out
mate.
to
Gazza, Gazza.
Get
Yeah,
on,
so
mate.
me and Gary will bike to the bottom of the mount. He's on an electric bike, I'm on a normal bike. Then I run up the mount and he just mooches around, I don't know, doing whatever. Then I come down, we get a coffee, we bike back, and then me and the whole fam just go to the beach and, tan my white legs.
Get them ready for the old English summer. Yeah. Bloody good. Geez, we're flying through it now, guys. I think that was question number 9. So, Taylor, we've got one more question for you before we do our little wrap up. And that's just a little bit of a big picture question for you to finish on. And that's what does the next 5 years look like for Tayla Mason?
Oh, yeah. Well, next 5 years, I'll probably still be in Marlborough or Ramsbury, and and I'll be riding some horses still, and kicking along.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Nice and happy.
Still kicking
Here we
along
are.
on Chase.
kicking along on Chase, exactly.
So you'd have to say then, if you're saying in 5 years you'd like to be doing what you're doing right now,
Yeah.
that's a pretty cool place to be.
But
right
maybe
now.
just a bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm my biggest. Yeah, I'd love to be doing what I'm doing now, but just way better.
Well, it's pretty cool then that
And-
that where you are right now, you're bloody happy with it.
Yeah.
You're in a cool place.
Yeah.
You got your people around, and you
Got a
just
great pub.
yeah.
Yeah.
You've got some people to lean on for expertise.
Yeah.
Say if you
Yeah.
need it, me and Mitch, we're
Yeah,
here.
you guys, locals.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
So
Sub hubs, we're here for you.
bloody good. Shout out Subhubs. Well, that's all the questions we have for you, Tayla Mason.
Cool.
The way we finish up here at Eventing Weekly is we go through a little bit of eventing advice. So if you're not familiar with how this works, we've got our podcast live on Apple Podcasts, and there you can go along and rate the podcast 5 stars, because why would you rate it anything else? And then when you rate it 5 stars,
Not if, when.
you leave a little bit of advice. And what we do is we like to share that advice with our special guests.
Okay.
That's you this week, Taylor. And then we like to hear your feedback on this.
Okay.
So our fan advice for this week, our fan advice for this week comes in from Jimmy Two Arms,
Shout out to Jimmy Two Arms.
is the username. But I'm pretty sure I know who this is, and I think it's James and Rachel, who are owners for the prices of Girillo.
Yeah.
And their question is, well, first of all, they begin brilliant podcast. Great content with lots of chat. And then they say, our top eventing tip is plan the season around the party locations. Keep up the great work. Merch definitely required, and we'll be in touch. So
coming your way.
Plan your season around the party locations.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, those two are legends. They're totally right.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Is that something you would take up?
Yeah, well, a little birdie tells me that that they might be organising the tent at Blenheim. So, to be honest, planning my season around Blenheim.
Yeah.
So
See you there, team.
So you're not having a horse running at Blenheim?
No, well, I think I have to. Maybe we'll see. I mean, probably better if I didn't, but I might.
It's going to be a fun Sunday for you.
Yeah.
Hey, if we were to take that framework and sort of lay it across the whole eventing season, what are some of the shows we might be targeting? And if I can start with Mitch and I think regardless of any of our connections, I think we're quite keen to get to Bookaloo.
Oh yeah, Bookaloo's cool. Yeah.
We hear great things yet to attend, but we're thinking maybe a little, maybe an Eventing Weekly special from Bookaloo.
Yeah.
A 24-hour special. We just record.
Hey, do you guys need like a sidekick? Like I could do the
No, I think we're okay.
Oh, what?
No, I think we're pretty good by ourselves.
The ultimate denial.
I think we're right.
I could I don't know.
been
I
doing
could
all right
like
so
take
far.
the bags or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Well, if you put it like that. Good.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the flights. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So Bookaloo,
It's booked in.
Blenheim.
Yeah.
If you were to chuck in another good party location for obviously once all the serious stuff is done.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Just trying to think. There's so many.
I mean, yeah.
I think they've had a good night out at Barbary.
Oh, Barbry's a goodie.
Before?
Yeah.
Barbary.
Barbry's a goodie.
So we're locking-
Barbry's great because it's like local as well.
Nice and close, yeah.
Yeah,
We like
yeah.
that.
So we're locking it in for James and
Convenience.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Blenheim, Barbary, and Bookaloo.
Yeah.
The big bees.
The big,
Forget Burley and Badminton. This is the big bees.
the real bees.
The real
The
bees.
real
This
bees.
is what we're after.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody good. Well, hey guys, that's all we've got time for this week. But I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure to have you along, Tayla Mason.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you.
Thanks for having us along here to your lovely yard. We'll
Yeah,
come back
thanks.
anytime.
Yeah. Welcome anytime.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. All right.
Well, I guess we'll catch you all next week.
Yeah. Signing off.
Tayla Mason.
Thanks, mate.
No worries.
Hi, this is Blythe Tate, and you're listening to Eventing Weekly with Mitch and Braden.
Timing's not bad on that one.
Better last week.
It was better last week. See you next week.